So these photos were taken yesterday afternoon. Cheryl ran around. You can see there the Poco is still tight. It's a little bit later bloomer, but you can see there we're starting to get some color on Stewart's. So go ahead and go down a little bit. The Karens, you can see there we're starting to get some decent interior color. They'll really start to fold out as the temps get a little warmer, but one good thing about some of these cold temps are they're pretty much in suspended animation. And then the rosebud there, you can see there's no activity on it. Rosebud is one of the later bloomers. It's usually around the 10th of May before it blooms. And I don't know if there should be a couple more or one more maybe. There we go. So Gerard's Rose, that's one of the early ones. Obviously, you can tell that from the photos, but it is blooming now. So very important that if anybody has these with obviously, I would think the expectation of having blooms, it will be in its prime during next week. So that's definitely one. If they can only take a few, they really want to get those Gerard Rose right away, take advantage of that bloom. You know, the blooms can last up to a couple of weeks, but remember, the more you handle them, you know, the more troubles you could have with keeping the blooms looking good. So go ahead and jump down through these photos. Azalea Herbert, the next one there. Just kind of showing you there, we do have some availability on this. So if somebody's looking to get some color, you can see Herbert's still tight. It blooms a little bit after Karen. Go ahead to the Pleasant White. We're out of Cascade. That's our Cascade is our standard white. But Pleasant White, the nice thing about Pleasant White is it does bloom just a little bit later than Cascade. It still has a very heavy bloom. So, you know, pure white flower. It's got a more glossy foliage. I tend to like it. You know, Cascade is got its place too. Cascade's a little tighter grower, more of a mop looking kind of azalea, where this one here is maybe just a little more upright, but not too terribly upright. But we got a lot of availability on these. We got 1,000, and we still got time to get these out. So get them in next week. They should still have some, as long as they protect them, they don't put them out where they get a lot of wind or anything. They should still have a good flower for Mother's Day. But the key is to ship these while they're still buds, still closed up a little bit. When the flower's full open and you put it on a rack and you roll it around and the customer sets it down, it tends to beat the flower up. So, you know, it's do the best you can. Yeah, roadies. So jump into the roadies. So just some status photos there. You can scroll down a little bit, but you know, we're still a ways away. We're starting to see just a little bit of swelling on them, but we got time. Remember, this one usually pops. You just start seeing a little color, maybe Mother's Day. It's usually this year. It'll definitely be after the 10th for full flower. But the crop's looking real good. The buds are nice, viable. So we look really good. Next is kind of a collage of syringa of the lilacs. So you can see here, Cheryl took you some photos of different statuses there. So you got the declaration, which is kind of pushing out a nice candle of flower. Not open yet. You know, the nice thing about a lot of these lilacs are, you know, you get to see the color right off the bat, and then it opens, and so you get a long period of color. Purple Glory is another hyacintifolia, and then Alta is a vulgaris white. It's hard to see from the photo from the white plastic, but there are some really nice white blooms in there starting to form. So we still got time, but we definitely want to get these pushed out. These would be excellent for Mother's Day. They're right on time this year for Mother's Day weekend, even a little bit after Mother's Day. These things will be blazing away. So next, I want to show you my Monet Sunset. You have just a little bit of availability. These are in protected houses, so they aren't current, but we were able to, we got some growth on them. We want to make sure they're viable. So we're doing this thing a little different. We've had issues in the past where we had a little bit of dormancy issues. We've just totally changed the program. We keep them in minimal heat, and we're able to ship out a plant that's got just a nice pop of new growth, good color. So, should be flowering probably mid-May. You'll start seeing some flowers come out. It's usually later in May, but by doing this process, you might start seeing a few flowers by mid-May. And next, we wanted to show you the wine and rose. So you can see here, we're starting to ship this crop. This is basically an enhanced crop. These are just got enough leaf now. They got good, you can see there the color, we've got enough sunlight. The way these things happen is they kind of pop green, and then it takes about a week of some good sunny days. You got to be past mid-April to put that nice purple color on it. So we'll be shipping these out with some good color next week, nice leaves. So that should, and then the spilled wine are they're popping out good. They got great color. So nice, fresh looking plants. They're not sticks. That should help a lot, keeping people excited.